On Tuesday evening I travelled to Poole to watch my daughter's boyfriend play football. He's just signed for the club and we're immensely proud of him. It was a well supported game with quite a few fans there, and for 2 hours we came together to cheer the team on, with the result being a win 2-0. Behind one of the goals is a small stand, and from the moment the whistle blew, the Poole fans in this stand, all bunched up together, started singing and chanting. I can see why the fans are sometimes referred to as the 12th man. Stood next to me were a couple of lads, probably in their 20s, and in stark contrast to the fans in the stand, they were quiet, they clapped politely at a good bit of play, and they never seemed to get too excited. Later in the evening, another couple of fans came and stood next to me, and these guys were different again, shouting abuse at the other team players, the ref, and to be honest, anyone that dared to do anything that didn't help the Poole players' cause. They were also very funny, although I can't really repeat much of what they said. I'm sure this is a picture of many clubs around the country. I've seen similar things at other games I've been to, such as when I go with my work colleague Matt to watch Portland play. Football fans are an interesting bunch, because basically there is no such thing as a typical fan. Some are young, some are old. Some are loud and some are quiet. There's dads with kids and there's friends in small groups. It's an amazing mix of what appears to me to be very different people. But they all have one thing in common, their love of the team that they support. And if even for that night you support the same team as them, then you're part of the crowd. You're part of the club, you're part of the team, and it's great. In much the same way, churches are different from one another. Every church has its own personality. It's shaped by its history, its leadership, and its congregation. Some churches are traditional, with services full of hymns and rituals that have been passed down for generations. Other churches are more contemporary, embracing modern music, technology, and new ways of worship. There are churches that emphasise quiet reflection and contemplation, and others that focus on lively expressions of praise. Some churches are small, close-knit communities where everyone knows each other, while others are large, bustling congregations with hundreds and sometimes even thousands of members. These differences among football fans and churches shouldn't divide us. Rather, they enrich our experience. Just as each fan brings something unique to the stadium, each church offers something special to its community. Whether it's the way they worship, the causes they support, or the traditions that they uphold. These differences allow churches to meet the diverse needs of our members, just as different football clubs cater to different types of fans. In both football and faith, there is no single right way to be a fan or a believer. What matters is the passion and dedication that we bring to our team or our church. These differences are a reflection of the diversity of the human spirit, and they remind us that there is beauty in variety. Whether it's the roar of the crowd in the stadium or the quiet hum of a Sunday service, our differences are what make our communities vibrant, dynamic, and full of life. Let's cherish these communities, but let's also remain open and willing to recognise that there are many ways to experience church. Just as there's room for different kinds of football fans, there's room for different ways to follow Jesus. What matters isn't that we all worship in the same way, but that we're united in our love for Christ. By being open to different approaches, we can better appreciate the diversity within the body of Christ and grow together in our faith.